Welcome back to the Metal Nerd, everybody. I have a great video in store for all of you today. Today, we are going to be doing an album review, but not just any album. The brand new album, Crisis of Faith from Billy Talent. Now, obviously on this channel, I tend to cover metal. As you guys know, I like my music heavy, but Billy Talent, they're more of a pop punk band, but they're a band that I've always had a bit of a soft spot for. And I really do appreciate particularly those first two albums. So as you may know, Billy Talent is a Canadian rock band formed in Mississauga, Ontario. That's about half an hour away from Toronto, where I'm shooting this video right now. And after all these years, they still pretty much have their original lineup, other than the drummer who's taken a hiatus for MS, but a band that's able to keep that original lineup throughout their entire career, that's pretty rare. So going into this album, what did I expect? What did I want as a fan? Obviously, Billy Talent is pop punk. I'm not expecting this to be the edgiest thing in the world. I'm expecting some catchy songs, but, catchy in a good way. And that can be a bit of a different line for everybody. With pop music, it can be a bit earwormy. And, where you fall on that is, I guess, a matter of personal taste. I tend to find Billy Talent is poppy, catchy in the right way, and that's what I expect from this album. Billy Talent is also known for their really good guitar riff writing, so I'm expecting some pretty impressive riffs. Also, Billy Talent quite legendary for their level of production, so there better be some good production on this album, or I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I also really appreciate the unique vocal styles in this band. I really like that between Ben and Ian, you can really tell who's who. Their vocals are both really good, but they have a different style. Obviously, with this band, they're a very energetic band. Most of their songs are pretty fast. I'm expecting some speed, some energy, some excitement from this album. And with the lyrics, Billy Talent has brought some pretty political lyrics to the table before, and also some pretty emotional lyrics. So I'm expecting some emotion from this album, but I also want a more mature Billy Talent here, with less teenage angst. So what did I think of this album? Well, I'm going to get into this in a lot more detail, but overall, I thought it was a pretty solid album. I think most fans are going to be pretty happy with this release. And seeing as this thing is only 10 songs long, it clocks in at about 36 minutes, I can pretty much just go through this thing track by track. So I think that the album starts out really strong with the track Forgiveness. This is a 7-minute Coheed and Cambria-ass song, probably the closest that Billy Talent has ever come to being prog rock. But I really enjoyed this track, and I think it stands out as a pretty unique song in the band's discography. They follow that up with Reckless Paradise, another great song, one of my favorite songs on the album. I love the chunky guitar tone on this tune. I love the chorus, one of the best choruses. It's a very high energy song. I like it a lot, and I really like the placement here as the second song on the track list. Then we get Beg to Differ, more of a ballady song, but a song that I do enjoy. I like the more positive, encouraging lyrics on this song. And now that I think about it, this album's a lot more positive overall. After that, we have The Wolf, a more atmospheric cut that I think had a lot of potential, but ultimately ended up being one of the sleepier cuts on the album for me. But don't worry, because right after that, we get Reactor, which is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. This song is catchy, it's memorable, and I really like the lyrics on this song. I like that they get a little bit more specific. Just a good all-around tune. I could see this being a great tune to hear live. Kind of reminds me of River Below. That's followed up by another highlight for me, which is Judged. And this is the closest thing to a true punk song on this album. It comes in at less than 2 minutes long. Lyrically, it's one of the most political songs on the album, and it talks specifically about discrimination against gay people and the Black community. I also think that this song is a great showcase for Ben's vocals. I am very impressed that he still sounds pretty much as good as he used to. His voice has aged a bit, but I would say that it's aged well. There's even moments in this tune where he reminds me of Geddy Lee. And I mean that in a good way. I'm one of those people who actually likes Geddy Lee. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a great punk song, and at less than 2 minutes, this song gets to the fucking point. And after that, we have Hanging Out with All the Wrong People, and this is where the problems on this album really start. I don't hate this song, but I do find it legitimately annoying. I also think that the The writing of the lyrics on this song are just super obvious. It sounds like a song that I wrote with my little sister when we were 5 years old. And I don't know, this seems to be like the breakaway hit of the album so far, at least on Spotify. And I don't know what to tell you guys. People who are loving this song, you're just wrong. Then we get End of Me. This song's been out for a while, so I had a chance to listen to it before. My opinion hasn't really changed. I think it's an okay track. I do like where it's placed in the track listing of the album. I think that this song has a really nice, crisp, clean guitar tone. I like that this is a chance for a longer guitar solo on the album. When it comes to Rivers Cuomo, I don't really know. I don't really get this feature. If you're gonna have one feature on the album, why not have a feature from somebody relevant, like, I don't know, The Weeknd or Megan Thee Stallion or something. Following that, we have One Less Problem, which is my least favorite song on this entire album. I have to admit, I find this song annoying as hell. The vocal chant is really, really irritating, and the chorus is irritating by extension. And finally, at the tail end of this thing, we have the track For You, which is more of a romantic ballad. Now, I don't hate this song, but I can't say that it really has my heart. I do like the way that clean and acoustic guitars are blended together on this song, but overall, I don't know. I just find this song kind of silly. I don't really vibe with it. All right, so it's time for my final thoughts on Billy Talent's Crisis of Faith. Overall, I think that this is a good album, and I think that in a lot of ways, Billy Talent still has that special Billy Talent sauce. As I said, Ben's vocals are as good as ever. I think they've aged really well. I think that Ian's vocals are cutting through really well here too. There is some great production on this album. There are some really solid riffs and some songs that stand out really well in this band's discography. Again, it's nice to see most of the original lineup is still here. I would have to say that I did like some of the lyrics on this album. I like the political lyrics, especially on the track Reactor, where they get more specific. I also liked that overall, this album is a little bit more upbeat, a little bit happier, a little bit more positive than some previous albums from Billy Talent. But, you know, the album gets really corny in some places. I have to admit that there were some songs that I did find legitimately irritating. And on an album as short as this, they kind of all have to be bangers. So yeah, as I said, I think that this album will please most fans. In many ways, it pleased me as a fan of this band, but there are quite a few shortcomings here, as I've discussed, so I'm gonna give this album a 6 out of 10. All right, so that's my review of Crisis of Faith. Do you agree with me? Do you think that I'm an idiot and I'm completely wrong? You can let me know all of that down in the comments. You can also let me know what albums are coming out that you'd like me to review next. So before I get out of here, I just want to let you guys know about my Patreon. And my goal right now is to really start taking this channel more seriously and start putting out at least weekly videos. And I actually want to do more than that. And if you guys really like my content, if you want to help support me, if you want to see more regular content on this channel, the best thing that you can do is support my Patreon. I've got the $1 tier. You can chuck in a buck and help me make content more regularly. But I am very excited about the $50 a month producer tier, where every month, if you're at that level, you get to pick a metal video for me to react to, and I have to react to whatever you want. All right, other than that, guys, that's it for this video. I appreciate you watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.